Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this is season 2, episode 6 of An Englishman Abroad, where we are currently out in Indonesia managing Sulut United. In the last episode, everything looked fine coming into the games. We had a 2-2 draw after blowing a 2-0 lead and the red card, and we also had a disappointing loss to Tira Persikabo in the Indonesian Cup. So, in today's episode, we are going to look to avenge that by playing Tira Persikabo at home in the Indonesian Cup second leg. And we are also going to be playing a league game. Let's have a look who that is against. That is against Arema. And an interesting thing about Arema was just before I came back to this episode, they actually offered me a job interview, which I declined, obviously, because we are here to manage Sulut United and try and form them into some kind of superpower eventually. But yeah, I just found it very interesting that I'd done a good enough job to get out of Liga 2 and be offered an interview with a club that is currently 6th in this league. So before we jump into the match footage, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well to let us know that we're doing a good job. Any comments, leave them in the box down below. And we're going to jump on in and play the first game in this episode. So the first game of this episode is going to be that game against Tira Persikabo as we go to look to avenge loss from the first leg of the quarterfinal. So the team we are going to put out is Darmawan in goal, Mulana, Polly, Yaranga, Araya at the back, Darmawan, Rajanto, Wayu, Adicha on the right, and Moran and Zola are going to come into the team and lead the line in those two shadow striker positions. Okay, so we are off and running at Clubat in Manado. Not a lot happening again in the first 10 minutes, but we do register the first shot, and it is a shot on target, but there is no highlight. So hopefully, here comes the highlight. And I thought we'd scored there. Harris Yaranga not tapped it in at the back post. There's a header that come across. He's standing right in front of the ball. He just doesn't make any kind of movement towards it, and it drifted out for a corner. So from the corner then, the ball just goes out of play and we move on. So this is a polar opposite game to the first one, where now we look like the team who are absolutely dominating. Not too sure whether it's a home and away thing, but we look a completely different team here, although there is defending to be done now. And just as I was saying about being a home and away team, don't really think that matters, because they have scored with what I believe is their first shot on target, a header at the back post, in off the crossbar, and that's disappointing because I thought defensively we'd looked sound, we'd looked quite solid in the last couple of games, and this tactic didn't seem to be exposing us at the back as much as I thought it would. But I guess there are teams and there are formations we are going to come up against always that just trump us. I mean, if you look here at the XG on the right hand side of your screen, our XG is 1.01, theirs is 0.21, and they walk in at half time with a 1-0 lead. This game sometimes is cruel, but all you can do is keep plugging away, and that's what we're going to try and do here. Try to play the ball around, but gets cut out. Now, Tira Persikabo try the long ball. Luckily, we deal with it, but all the second balls seem to be falling to them. And then Moran now is in on goal, and that was so good until the finish. He did the hard work, got in on goal, dragged the shot wide. Very disappointing. Don't know what we've got to do to fire the team up. Sometimes it just seems... I don't even know. Keep saying things like it's a bit flat, it doesn't look right. But off camera, we had a 2-0 win against Borneo in the in-between. I forgot to mention that. And we looked fine. It's just like we've got camera shyness. Moran there with a corner. Nothing really comes of it, although he's had a shot from there. And it's cleared away for a throw-in. But yeah, it just... whether we've got camera shyness or... don't know what it is. Trying to work the ball into the box instead of having just aimless long shots. We're going to try and fire the team up. See if we can't do... it nearly backfired straight away because they've had a goal disallowed there. I didn't even really see it. I was looking down and I think he was offside, but going to bring Carabo on and Lucky Pamana. See if we can't get something going from the middle of the park. because we've got 20 minutes to try and save this tie. We need 2 goals. I think it's time to abandon the positive mentality and just start cranking it up to attacking, and then pretty soon it will be up another 1-2, very attacking. However, honestly, looking at this, it doesn't seem like it's going to make a difference. And I think we're going to be out of the cup here with a bit of a whimper. So 2 minutes added on. Nothing really left to say there. Poor performance again. When you look at the stats, we've actually dominated the game. Possession, shots on target, XG, done all of those things. Football Manager comes along and says, nope, not today. So with the cup out of the way now, we've got the league to concentrate on, and that's where we are going to go next for our next game. Okay, so we are ready for the second game of the episode against Arima. The lineup we are going to put out today is Darmawan in goal, Kaguya, Mustafa, Tata and Araya right back. Got Thatcher, Roman in the deep line playmaker slot. 2 wingers are Aturori and Terrea, and you've got Wayu, Manduan and Noprahanis in the middle. So hopefully we can go on and get 3 points here. The league is all we've got to concentrate on now, and let's make a good fist of this whilst we can. So the second game of this episode is up and running. We need to start trying to capitalise on some of the chances that we were taking, because like in the last game, we were doing really, really well and just weren't converting anything. And then we're on the back foot straight away, but good clearance to get rid of the ball. Only goes to a blue shirt though. He tries to give it back to us but doesn't want it, and then they've hit the post from a ball over the top. That's just crazy. The ball bounced, he's hit it, and it's hit the foot of the post and come straight back. Pretty disappointing in terms of the defending, and we need to maybe have another look at this. It looked also positive, and then every time that we come to the cameras, it seems everybody knows that the world is watching, and everybody just kind of freezes. And there's a ball over the top again. We haven't really been susceptible to those. This is something that's happened in the last 2 episodes that I don't know whether it's a confidence thing. Maybe with Tata getting sent off and then us blowing that 2-goal lead, it's just affected the way we defend. But there's definitely something that's different, because when we were winning the games earlier on, when we were off camera, there was none of this balls over the top beating us around the side and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden it's come straight back into the team. So not too sure what's going on there. Hopefully those are the only balls that you'll see beat us in this episode. I don't want to be conceding those kinds of goals. Doing everything in my power to try and stop them. And the ball's in the middle of the park now. Wayu's got to pick a pass. Plays it out wide to Terrea. Going to try and run at his man here, I think. Plays it inside to Noprahanis, who tries the ball, gets deflected. I think Noprahanis was offside, so didn't go anywhere. But working the ball out nicely to the wing, and it's fallen to Terrea outside. Araya with the cross, and there's a header for Aturori at the back post, and Boas Aturori has given us the lead. This is tough going, but once we get the ball out wide and he picks his cross, Araya gets a march on his man, and Aturori beats the goalkeeper at the far post. I think that might have been poor goalkeeping, but I'm really not in a position to be worrying about what the opposition are doing. We need as many points on the board as we can get. So if we try and have a look at the league table. So coming into the game today, we were quite far off of the pace. We are in at half-time 1-0 leading. We were quite far off the pace, and then if things stay the way they are today, we will move on to 35 points, and that will leave us 10 points behind Bali United. So a lot to play for, really, and with, I think we're about halfway through the season, maybe. With a lot of games left to play, anything can happen if we start getting on a run, but we really need to just start getting some kind of form going and getting some kind of rhythm in terms of the match wins. And I think once we get a little bit of confidence back and we get into that rhythm, I really think we can push up the table, but it's all going to come down to the way that we defend. And there's the dreaded ball over the top that I was saying I didn't want to concede a goal to. And luckily for us, it's disallowed with an offside, because I would have been furious had that have actually happened after saying that I didn't want to see it. But Tata is just intent on giving the ball back, and it becomes a bit of a slog. It's like a tennis match, and there's another one. up and over the top. And luckily, the offside trap seems to be working today because we've caught them again. It did seem when he was in behind there that he was quite far offside. So maybe riding our luck having 2 disallowed goals, but there's 30 minutes left in the match. Don't know whether to try and start making some changes and seeing if there's a ball that split us open. Great save though by Darmawan. And then whoever that was at right back just backed out of a tackle. They just decided to leave the ball. So we're going to go in. We're going to make a change here. We're going to bring Hanusa on at right back. We're going to bring Permana on in the middle of the park. And also Maran can come on the right side of the attacking two. Try and give us a bit of fresh legs and liven things up. But there's a ball over the top for ourselves there. And how has Wayu not scored? Had the chance to bury the game. These 1-0 leads really do leave me worried. I mean, again, we're dominating the game. We should be turning this dominance into a more commanding lead, really. And there's a ball over the top, and this time this one's going to count, isn't it? So, whatever's going on, it wasn't happening when we were off the camera, and then all of a sudden, we come on camera, seem to have no confidence. We just need a little bit of luck, I think. The tactic seems to be working, and I don't know why the ball over the top there has started working again, but it's a work in progress, and nobody said we were going to fly this one. I mean, if you watched An Englishman Abroad in Thailand, we absolutely flew that league. I did end up being one of the better teams in the league and were able to bolt onto that quite quickly, whereas with this, we have come up as a League 2 club and we look to build. So if we establish ourselves in the league this season and then go on next season, I'll be happy with that. But it's another episode where we come out with a loss and a draw. So it's another point and another step towards survival in the league. But a bit of more work to be done. I'm going to try and change a few things in the tactic, I think. Maybe drop the defensive line. Try and see if the balls over the top can be stopped again. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but just got to find out how. So that's a wrap for this episode. Again, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you're enjoying the series so far. Any comments you have, leave them in the box down below. But until the next one, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.